Hey everyone, this is iCore Tech. I'm QAIS, bringing you a focused briefing on the latest leaks surrounding Apple's next flagship, the iPhone 18 Pro series. Tonight we'll walk through the design rumors, camera and display innovations, the rumored chipset and thermal upgrades, likely launch windows and pricing outlook, and, crucially, what this all means for consumers and the market. According to multiple industry leaks, the iPhone 18 Pro series is reportedly being tested with a transparent or translucent rear panel, a departure from Apple's more conservative glass and metal finishes of recent generations. The same leak thread also names a transition to a hole-punch front camera cutout and evaluation of an under-display Face ID implementation, commonly referred to in trade reporting as HIAA, or Hole in Active Area. These are not minor cosmetic tweaks. They represent a fundamentally different approach to handset aesthetics and to the way Apple integrates sensors and cameras into the display and rear surfaces. A transparent rear panel would be notable for two reasons. First, it is a visible signal that Apple is experimenting with novel materials and design language, a move that can refresh the brand's visual identity. Second, the engineering trade-offs are significant. A see-through back requires rethinking antenna placement, component shielding, and thermal management. Based on the leaks, Apple is reportedly testing these elements rather than having finalized them. On the front, a hole punch or HIAA approach would reduce on-screen clutter compared with the dynamic island strategy used in recent iPhones. If Apple manages to relocate Face ID hardware under the display while retaining secure biometric performance, users would see a cleaner display, and developers would gain a slightly larger uninterrupted canvas for apps and video. Camera leaks are always high on the list for Apple watchers and the iPhone 18 Pro reporting includes two potentially significant items. First, the main camera for Pro models is being tested with a variable aperture mechanism. In plain terms, this would allow the lens to change aperture size physically, improving control over depth of field and low-light capture in ways that software alone cannot replicate. Variable aperture systems have been used in premium cameras and a few smartphones, and bringing this to Apple's Pro line would be a notable step for mobile photography on iPhone. Second, telephoto and zoom. Optics are expected to receive wider apertures and potentially hardware changes that favor improved optical zoom performance. Taken together, the emphasis on camera hardware suggests Apple is continuing to position Pro models as tools for creators and enthusiasts rather than simply incremental upgrades for general users. From a viewer perspective, the practical outcome could be more usable night photos, a more natural subject separation in portraits, and cleaner results at long focal lengths. From Apple's point of view, advanced optics keep the iPhone competitive with specialized flagship phones and standalone cameras in the creator market. The push toward under-display technology, HIA, in the reporting, is consistent with broader industry trends. Phone makers want to maximize usable screen area while preserving front-facing sensors function. If Apple successfully combines a hole punch for the selfie camera with under-display Face ID components, the result would be a display that feels closer to a true full screen compared to today's implementations. Design, trade-offs, and production complexity make this a cautious shift rather than an overnight revolution. Reports indicate Apple is testing HIAA, not that it has finalized mass production. Still, the practical implication is clear. A cleaner viewing experience and a subtle but meaningful shift in the look and feel of the home screen. Notifications and App Chrome. On the silicon front, reports point toward the iPhone 18 Pro family being powered by Apple's next-generation chipset, commonly referred to as the A20. Early reporting suggests it will be manufactured on an advanced node, offering gains in energy efficiency and raw compute. Higher efficiency chips enable both longer battery life and greater sustained performance when paired with adequate thermal management. Complementing the chip rumors, leaks mention a vapor chamber cooling system and premium stainless steel materials for the Pro models. These are not simply marketing details. Better heat dissipation allows the phone to maintain peak CPU and GPU clocks for longer, which benefits gaming, long video exports, and any heavy workloads where thermal throttling would otherwise reduce performance. For consumers, this combination means more consistent responsiveness during demanding tasks. For Apple, it signals a focus on keeping performance steady across longer use cases, rather than purely chasing short-burst benchmark numbers. Industry reporting suggests Apple may continue a staggered launch strategy. The Pro models, and possibly a foldable device, are expected to debut at Apple's traditional fall event in September, while the standard iPhone 18 and an entry iPhone 18e model are rumored to appear in spring of the following year. Staggered rollouts allow Apple to concentrate marketing and press attention on premium models, first and later capture additional market segments with different price points and features. Staggering releases also gives Apple flexibility around supply chain and component procurement. It is a tactic we've seen in varying forms across the broader smartphone industry when manufacturers juggle advanced features and yield challenges. While Apple has not released official pricing, credible reporting aggregates expected retail ranges. Base iPhone 18, estimated to begin near a $799 iPhone 18 Pro. Market estimates suggest starting prices north of a $1,999 foldable, ultra-premium models, if introduced, could reach a $1,999 or higher. Depending on design and component costs, these ranges align with Apple's previous pricing strategy. The Pro tier is positioned as a premium product with features and performance that justify a higher price point, while the standard model aims for broader market appeal. Regional pricing will, of course, vary based on taxes, tariffs, and local market conditions. Leaks indicate potential new color options for the Pro line, with reported names including burgundy, coffee, and a purple variant. Stainless steel frames and refined finishes are expected for Pro models, signaling Apple's continuing emphasis on premium fit and finish at the high end of its lineup. While color is not a technical specification, it matters for buyer perception and differentiation. Apple has used new finishes strategically in past cycles to create fresh visual stories around its device's official battery capacities, and real-world battery life estimates are not yet available. Charging speeds and the final implementation of USB-C, if any, remain speculative. While hardware hints at enabling features such as improved photography and display experiences, the software features, and specifically what Apple's next iOS generation will enable for the new hardware, are not fully specified in reporting to date. These gaps are important because hardware potential is only realized with complementary software tuning. Apple's strength historically has been its hardware-software integration, until Apple announces iOS features that explicitly leverage the new hardware. The full user impact is uncertain. A note on credibility. Much of what we hear in the months leading up to an Apple launch is a mix of verified supply chain signals, reputable tipster reporting, and outright speculation. The specific claims we've highlighted, transparent rear panels, HIAA testing, variable aperture cameras, and an A20 chip, have appeared across multiple outlets and leak threads. While convergence across sources increases the probability that elements of the reporting are accurate, Apple's final product choices can and do change during development. For producers, this means treating unconfirmed features as plausible scenarios rather than definitive fact. For viewers and buyers, the prudent stance is to use the leaks to form expectations, but to await Apple's official announcement for purchase decisions. The iPhone 18 Pro leaks point to a bold design experimentation from Apple, a possible transparent rear surface, efforts to push for near full screen displays via HIA, a potential variable aperture camera, and the next generation A20 chipset with enhanced cooling to sustain performance. These are meaningful shifts if they arrive as reported, but they remain leaks until Apple confirms. If you found this briefing useful, please like this video and subscribe to iCore Tech for continuing coverage as new information emerges. In the comments below, tell us which rumored feature would make you upgrade: the transparent back, the variable aperture camera, or the new display approach. We read every comment